right, and welcome back to Rally Point. We've got some ACAC action about to go down in just about 5 to 6 minutes. I'm Simon Chaskovsky, and I'll be alongside you. We've got the SAIT Trojans taking on the Olds Broncos, but before we get into that, we'd just quickly like to thank RBC, who has partnered up with the ACAC in the annual Make Some Noise for Mental Health campaign to promote mental health awareness and reduce the stigma associated with mental health concerns. There are 17 member institutions participating in this campaign, spread among 2 divisions under 1 conference. We have strength in unity. We want you to know that you are not alone. Let's make some noise for mental health. And we are going to be getting into this one with the national anthem and starting lineups coming up next. But before we get into that, we'll quickly break down this one. We've got the 1 and 2 Olds Broncos, like I said, taking on the SAIT Trojans, who are currently 0 and 4, starting the season maybe not quite as strong as they wanted to, but with an opportunity here at home, here at Rally Point, to turn that around. For the Trojans, they're going to have to rely on their strengths if they want to beat the Olds Broncos, which is getting points when they need to. Currently 4th in the ACAC with in-hitting percentage at a 0.673. Quite impressive to say the least. We'll have to see if they can keep at that rate, scoring when they can and not allowing the Broncos to get going early. As for the Broncos, they'll have to rely on their defense. Currently 6th in digs per set with 8.62. Very strong defensively. We'll have to see if the Trojans, who were struggled last game they played here at Rally Point against Red Deer, to get a lot of points up on the board due to the strong defense of the Kings. We'll have to see if they can potentially turn things around here going against the Broncos. We've got the starting lineups and national anthems coming up in just a bit. Make sure to stick around. I'll be right back with you right after that.
It's now time to bring your starting lineups for tonight's match. MVB Olds, Broncos at number 5 outside hitter Aiden Phillips. Outside hitter number 6 Matthias Franca. Outside hitter number 9, Reed Brusing. Outside hitter number 11, Laza. Center number 14, Zane Brandt. And down the middle, number 15, Carter Sinclair. Libero number 2, Gallon Dominique. And the other libero, number 4, Ben Gamble. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hats together for your SAIT Trojan starting lineups. Outside hitter number 1, Jackson Tides. Left side number 7, Joshua Pudong. Outside hitter number 10, Logan Williams. Outside hitter number 12, Watson Essai. Center number 16, Liam Amiwan. And on the right side, number 19, Gustavo Machado. Libero number 3, William Giles. And the other libero number 8, Dominic Rusi. Olds Broncos are coached by Ryan Marston. Sam Trojans head coach, Brad Moore. I will now turn the match over to the Kings officials, Adam Jonathan Luke Normandin, linesmen Jed Larson, and Arnett Salas-Sen.
We'll just quickly take a quick look at both of these rosters and see what we can find while we wait for both teams to get ready out there. Quick player that I want to highlight for the Olds College will be Aiden Phillips, who's been a guy who can do it all for the Broncos. Currently leading them in both kills and service aces. I expect to be seeing him a lot out there. for the Broncos. For the Trojans, I want to take a quick look at number 19, Gustavo Machado, who's having quite the season. He's a first year who's currently leading the team in kills, not something you necessarily see too often, but he is making it look easy out there for him. As both teams get lined up, it looks like we will be seeing Olds starting with it. As Dominic Saucy comes into the game. And we'll just have to see who they decide to send back to serve. Oh, sorry, no, that's my bad. The Trojans will be getting the first serve, as that'll be Diamamuan getting the chance to start off the game for the Trojans here at home. As we're hearing the As here we go. Amuan launches it off the hands and into the roof. Starting this game off for the Trojan in electric fashion, as he will be getting it right back after the service ace, his 7th of the season. As he will load up once again for a chance to fire it down on the Broncos. Sending it across later that time, and he'll do it! Back to back pocket aces. As he grabs his 8th ace of the season, and the Trojans starting off strong. As that time the Broncos able to stop it. They'll send it across, popped up by Williams, sent down to Tice, who keeps it in bounds. They'll set it up again, tapped down. The wall there for the Trojans stays strong. That time they will give it to the Trojans. Looked like nobody was sure at first whether the Trojans might have gotten a finger on that one, but they say they won't, as that one goes out of bounds off of the strong defensive, or the smart defensive play by the Trojans to let that one go. As Diamamuan, the first year, continues his start, sending it across. And they're going to end up saying that he crossed over that line, giving the Broncos their first point on the infraction. As going back to serve now will be Aiden Phillips, the 6'5" fourth year, who I previously brought up at the beginning of this one. He'll load up and fire. Hitting the netting on that one, and the Trojans getting some early momentum to start off this one. Jackson Tice goes back, has 4 aces on the year. One of the stronger servers for the Trojans, and has been for the last couple of years he's been here. Might have jinxed him on that one though, as he'll send that one just a little bit too far. Still got a smile on his face. So the Broncos will get it right back. Serving for them now will be Carter Sinclair, the first year from Calgary. As he's going to load up and fire, sending it in on the Trojans. Tice stops it. Amuan finds Machado. Somehow that ends up on the Broncos' side of the netting. They'll knock it over. Saucy keeps it in the air to Machado. That one is put right down by Matthews Franca. The 6'6" outside hitter for the Broncos, as they start to break into this Trojans lead. As they send it across. Tice, 2. A little bit of mischief there. I don't know if that was miscommunication. As that time it ends up being put right into the netting by the Broncos. Point for the Trojans, as it looks like they will be sending back Joshua Budok. Has 1 ace on the year. Has quickly become a big part of this Trojan starting lineup. They send it in, they keep it up, and they end up having to tap it over, giving the chance to the Broncos. And it looks like they're going to give them the point on the infraction, bringing the Broncos back within one. Going back to serve will be Reed Grusing, the 6'3" outside. Third year. From the town of Bragg Creek, not too far from here. And that one will find the corner, they'll say, tying things up here at 5 apiece. Quite the serve there. There's good jobs from the officials to realize that one was inside, because I can definitely say from my angle I was not sure. As the Trojans will get it that time as he tries to find the same corner once again, wasn't quite able to. Going back to serve for the Trojans will be Gustavo Machado, 1 ace on the year. Has been one of the better players for the Trojans in his rookie season. He'll send it across and too far. Tying things right back up here at 6. And going back to serve for the Broncos will be number 6, Matthias Franca. We saw him get quite the spike earlier in this one as he loads up and sends it. Kept in the air by Williams for Essa, tapping it far. Broncos keep it alive. Sent down and off the hands. That is Aiden Phillips for the Broncos. And that'll give Matthias Franca another chance to serve as the Broncos take their first lead of this one. He's going to load up and send it across. Williams will receive. That's Amuan for Machado. They keep it alive, but not for long. Nearly quite the juggle by the Broncos to even keep it alive for as long as they did, but that last one wasn't quite able to make it there, and the Trojans tie things right back up at 7 apiece. Going back to serve will be Logan Williams, one of the better servers for the Trojans, averaging an ace on 0.33% of his sets, meaning he's averaging about 1 a match. He'll send it over, and that one taps inside, and he grabs another one. Now that one was quite impressive, as it bounces just off of the top part, the little white part of the netting, and drops right down there. You can't get a much better serve. We'll see what he decides to do here. Already a couple aces for the Trojans. They send it across, tapped down, and the little sneaky play there from Zach Fernandez ties things right back up here at 8. It seems like so far the Trojans have been on top for the most part in this one, but the Broncos have quickly answered back to all the offense we've seen. They'll send it across, tapped up by Williams. Sousey sent to Tice, kept in the air. Machado sends it over, and they set it up. Machado keeps it up at first, but not able to keep it up for long as the Broncos take another lead in this one, putting it up to 9-8. Serving for the Broncos will be Laza, as he will load up and fire. Sending it across, that's Williams. Sent up, that's Tice, as it drops down off the hands of number 14, Zane Brandt. Not quite able to stop it, as the Trojans tie things right back up at 9-9. That's Bonson Essa taking it back now, the second year. Didn't get a lot of playing time in his rookie season, but he has certainly made up for it so far in this one as he'll send it across. Ooh, little bit of a finger touch there. A little bit too fancy, though, as the Trojans get the point off of it, as Essa goes back to serve once again. Essa will load up and fire, sending it across. That one, he'll try and find the corner, not quite able to get it there, as it gets tied right back up at 10-10. Going back to serve now will be Zane Brandt, the third year from Manitoba. He'll send it across, kept in the air. That'll be Tice, sent back to Tice, and put right back down, as he's already started to have a great start in this first set for the Trojans. He's averaging 1.8 kills per set on the season, but already matched that in this first set. Put up to Machado, up high. They'll keep it alive, and they will spike it across off the hands of Williams and into the score table. As we see the Broncos start to build on their first real lead of the game. As so far, it's been very, very close. Neither team really going further than about a 1-point lead. Broncos decide to extend that, but not for long as the Trojans get right back in it. The score is 12-11 for Olds. Going back to serve now will be the man who started it all for the Trojans, being DM Amuan. Currently has 8 aces on the year. Sending it across. A little bit too far. Serving now will be Aiden Phillips from Bow Island, Alberta. Currently averaging an ace at about 0.31 per set. Machado, will he find it? He won't. Not on that one, at least, as that one goes just a touch further past the corner. And that will be Aiden Phillips loading up once again, as they are starting to build a lead here on the Trojans here at Rally Point. Just earlier this evening, we saw the women's squad win their first game here at Rally Point. Well, the hope here for the home squad is that they can potentially match them, but we'll have to see what happens with that, as that is a timeout from head coach O'Gorman. And in this timeout, we'll take a chance to quickly thank RBC. At the heart of every community, you'll find people who are passionate about building a better future for us all. RBC is inspired by the student athletes here at SAIT and their continuous efforts to make a difference in the community. As currently the Trojans down by 4 after starting the set rather hot, but have not quite been able to keep up now as the Broncos start to build up a bit of momentum. We'll have to see what they can do to try and change that, as it appears they've been struggling to get a lot past the Broncos, who have had a rather strong defense so far in this one. Sitting at 6th in digs in the ACAC with a 8.62 per set, as both teams start to make their way out. Trojans are going to send out the same group they started with. Had quite a lot of success with them early on, especially from the serve. We'll have to see what they can do to try and build their comeback back. Obviously only down by 4, not quite an emergency yet, but you don't want to start falling behind any further than they currently are. As Aiden Phillips will load up and get ready to send it across. Sending it over, kept up by Saucy. Amuan tries to find Machado, but just a little bit too far on that one as they fall behind now by 5. With it now will be Aiden Phillips once again. Already had quite the impact in this one with a couple of nice serves and a kill. He'll send it across, and that will give him his 5th ace of the season. And it's definitely not surprising to see Phillips have an early impact in this one for Olds, the leader in multiple statistical categories for this squad. He'll send it across, but that one's just a bit too far as the Trojans get that last point back. Going back to serve now will be Jackson Tice. One of the better servers for the Trojans on this team this year. Sending it down now. It'll get retrieved, tapped over by Phillips, who's not able to beat Logan Williams. And the Trojans are back within 4. That will be Jackson Tice with it now. Averaging an ace, a little under every second set. Wow, that one looked like it went off the head of Sousey. He looks just fine. Might have hit a shoulder there, but it definitely looked scary there for a moment. Glad he is all right. Carter Sinclair will go back to serve while the Trojans make a change on the defensive side, bringing in, that is Jackson Prowse, the first-year setter from Strathmore, in favor of DM Emuan, as they will load up to fire. Sending it across, popped up, sending it to Budak, who's not quite able to finish it. As they set it up, that's Sousey, to Machado, who taps it far. And the far tap works as some miscommunication from the Broncos leads to the point that brings the Trojans back within 4. The score is 18-14, Broncos leading. And they got their lead not too long ago at about the 10th point of this first set and have held on to it ever since. You're gonna have to see if the Trojans can make a comeback, but they are progressively running out of time as the Broncos are now only 6 away from taking this first set here at Rally Point. As the Broncos make a sub, bringing in Zach Fernandez, the first year. As well as number 3, Nicholas Hill. Looks like they will be sending Zach Fernandez back to serve. Doesn't have an ace yet on this season, as he'll send it across. Popped up by Williams to Sousey to Williams. And that one is a kill for Williams. As that one might be just the momentum shifter the Trojans might need, only down by 4. As that's Gustavo Machado sending it across, tapped up, and an impressive ace. And that marks his second one of the year. That one goes a little bit too far, not quite able to match the first one. The score is now 20-16. Broncos hitting that 20-point mark, only 5 away from this first set, while the Trojans are on the outside, but not quite done yet, only down by 4. They load up for Williams, and an impressive kill on the outside brings the Trojans back within 3. As they're gonna send it back to the man who just did that impressive kill right there, Logan Williams, the third-year outside hitter. Already has 4 aces on the season. He'll send it across, popped up. We'll see what they do with it. Put down by Aiden Phillips. We've already seen that once from him before as he doubles it up. That's 2 kills in this first set. Going back to serve will be Strahinja Laza, the second year. As he's gonna load up and fire, sending it too far. So that goes off the foot of O'Gorman, the head coach for the Trojans. As they get back within 3, going back to serve will be Bonson Essa. Got, I believe, his 3rd ace of the season earlier in this one, if my memory serves me correctly. They'll set it up, sending it back, tapped up, Essa keeps it alive, and Machado puts it over. The Trojans are somehow still alive in this rally as it goes long, and they're gonna say it goes off of a hand, and the Trojans are 3 points away from losing this first set. We'll see how they respond, down by 4. Going back to serve now will be Nicholas Hill, the first year from Calgary. Has 2 aces on the season. We'll see what he can do to potentially increase this lead for the old Broncos. Popped up, Tice into the netting. As Olds is now 2 away from taking this first set. Going back once again will be Nicholas Hill. As we're going to see Diem Amuan come in now. The Trojans take off Jackson Proust. Oh, that one nearly hits the roof, but not quite. Tice sending it long. They keep it alive. Giving it to Phillips, who sends it long. And an impressive kill there puts them only one away from walking away with the first set here at Rally Point. Going back to serve here at set point will be Nicholas Hill. Has already had quite the impact in this one. Sending it long. Tice keeps it alive. Amuan, but who isn't able to finish it there. And that will do it for this first set. The Broncos go up 1-0 in this match here at Rally Point. Make sure to stick around. We'll be right back in just under 3 minutes. And as we are just under a minute away from this second set, we are going to take the chance to once again thank RBC. 1 in 5 students are struggling with mental health issues. RBC, along with ACAC and the Canadian Mental Health Association of Alberta, want to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health. Help us make a difference. Together, let's make some noise for mental health. Currently, the Trojans are down 1 set to 0. We saw the set be awfully close up until about the 10-point mark of it. And then the Broncos quickly would take the lead and hold on to it for the rest of the set. We'll see if they can hold on to that momentum as the Trojans try and make a comeback here and take the second set of this one so that they can tie things up here at Rally Point. Both teams start to take the court once again. The Broncos will get the chance to serve now. That will be Zane Brandt, the third year from Manitoba. He'll load up, getting ready to go, and we'll see what he's got. Sending it across for Tice. Somehow that ends up across. They'll load up again. Tice, but just too far as the Trojans will end up going down 1-0 here in the second set. With it now will be Zane Brandt sending it across. Kept up by Soucy for Amuan. Sent long. And what a play there by Budak to tie things right up here at Rally Point. Not wanting to fall behind early again. So the Trojans start to set up once again. That will be Jackson Tice. As he's going to load up and fire, sending it across, popped up. But that one goes off the hands, and that will be an ace. And that will be Tice's, I believe, 5th or 6th ace of the season so far. As he sends that one just a little bit too far. It's currently slipping my mind whether he had one in the first set, but not entirely sure, so. No matter how you look at it, though, still quite the game for Jackson Tice, as it'll be tied up at 2-2. Taking it now will be Aiden Phillips. He'll send it into the top part of the netting there. With it now will be Joshua Budak from Brandon, Manitoba. He's going to get ready to send it across as he loads up and fires. Kept in. They'll set it up. They'll end up tapping it across. Tice is right there. To Machado, who gets stopped at the net. Putting the score up to 4-3. Or 3-3. Taking it now will be Phillips once again, sending it across. Kept up. They keep it alive, sending it just too far. The Trojans will take it, going up 4-3. Going back to serve now will be Gustavo Machado. Had an ace in the first set of this one, which was his, I believe, second of the season. He'll send it long. Kept up. What a play there. Not able to keep it alive is the Trojans, who will end up allowing the Broncos to tie things right up here. At a rally point, the score is now 4-4. Taking it now will be Reed Grusing from Bragg Creek, just west of Calgary. He'll send it. Kept alive by Williams. Sousey back to Williams. Kept alive. Sousey again will send it to Machado, who taps it back inside. They'll hand it off, and spiking it down will be Laza, who will end up putting the Broncos up in this one. With it now will be Reed Grusing once again. As he's going to load up to fire. Sending it across, tapping it. That'll be Tice. Essa manages to get it over the netting. Not able to keep it alive. Who are they going to give it to? They will give it to the Trojans. Looks like both squads wanted the point there. But they will end up saying that Essa did not make contact with the ball. Logan Williams goes back to serve. 5 aces on the season for him, as he loads up, setting it across, and he gets his 6th. Quite the season so far for Williams. As he's going to go back once again. Quite a few aces for the Trojans through these first 2 sets. As he's going to load up again, sending it across. Where will it go? They'll say it was out of bounds. As the Broncos get it right back, the score is now 6-6. That will be Matias Franca going back to serve it. Sending that one too far, as the Trojans will get their point right back. Going back to serve now will be Essa. Been quite the impact player in his second season as a Trojan. That time that one goes too far, and that'll be 3 straight serves going out the back for both teams. At a certain point, you have to start to wonder if you're going to be hearing the coaches just saying to send it into play instead of trying to pick a corner. We'll just have to see what Laza decides to do with his serve. He'll send it. Popped up by Williams. And that'll be Tice, kept alive. Broncos, kept up by Williams. Back to Tice, who sends it down. That'll be Sousey. Amuan, Tice again. Put back up in the air. Sent over, kept in the air by Amuan to Sousey. Tice. Tice keeps it alive to Amuan. And the Trojans get it. I could have swore I heard both Amuan and Tice touch that ball probably 3 or 4 times alone by themselves in that rally. Quite the impressive individual performance by both players to get the point for the Trojans. As Amuan had pocket aces in that first set, let's see what he's got in his pocket for the second. Sending it over into the netting, but it makes it over. Bounces down. And he will get his 3rd ace of this one. A hat trick, if you will. Quite the impressive game from Amuan. Already has, that'll be 9 aces on the season. And it'll get put up, put down, but the Trojans keep it alive at the wall. As that will be Zane Brandt tapping that one to Carter Sinclair, who puts it away. Trojans still leading 9-8. Quite an action-packed second set we've already had so far in this one. Loading up to fire will be Zane Brandt. Tapped up by Salsi. Amuan. They keep it alive. Amuan once again to Williams, keeping it alive. Williams again. That'll be Machado putting it down as he gets the Trojans up to double digits. 10-8 is the score. Going back to serve now will be Nathan Tice. As he will send it across. Keeping it alive, tapping it up, and he'll send it over. Machado, Amuan, to Budok, who puts it away and puts the Trojans up by 3 as they look to win this second set and tie things right back up. We'll have to see if they can do it. Going back to serve once again will be Nathan Tice, the first year. Put it into the netting though. Not quite able to make that one work as the Broncos now get back within 2. Going back to serve will be Aiden Phillips. Again, the 4th year from Bow Island. As he's going to get ready to send it across. Sending it high. Tapped up by Southsea there. And put down by Budok. But it'll get blocked at the net. And the Broncos are back within 1. Just knocking on the door of this Trojans lead. As they will have it now, that'll be Aiden Phillips once again. Sending it over. This time he'll find the netting. As the Trojans will get the chance. It'll be Bonton Essa coming in. Going back to serve will be number 7, Joshua Budok. As he is going to get ready to go. Sending it over, let's see what he's got. Tapped off the hands, and that will be another ace for the SAIT Trojans. As they were averaging about an ace a set, or a little over an ace per set, sitting at 1.38 before this game, but that number will surely be going up after this performance by the Trojans. Multiple players with aces in this one. Sending it over, tapped inside, keeping it alive. Sending it over will be Budok. They'll tap it. Machado's there. Amuan to Essa, tapping it long. Kept alive by the Broncos. Sending it over. Amuan's there. Budok to Machado, putting it down and putting the Trojans lead up by 4. As the Trojans keep creeping in this second set. As we will see a timeout here. And we'll take a quick second to thank RBC. Did you know that RBC offers students $75 when they open an eligible student bank account, and will give another $75 to a charity of their choice? Get a bank account for students with the features you need, starting with no monthly fees, ticket discounts to concerts and sporting events, and Avion reward points. RBC believes that mental health, wellness, and financial wellness go hand in hand. Join us in making some noise for mental health. We'll just have to see what head coach Marsden can load up for Olds here. Currently down by 4, but certainly not out. We've seen this team can score points in bunches when they need to. We'll see what the Trojans can do to hold on to this lead. They have looked great in this second set, especially from the serving line. Multiple aces so far in this second set. We saw that plenty in the third as well. Prior to this one, like I said, they were only averaging 1.38 service aces per set, but you gotta imagine that will be going up. Joshua Budok back to serve after the timeout by the Broncos. We'll see what he can load up and send across. Broncos yelling soft serve at him. I would definitely not call that serve soft as it ends up going out the back. Puts a little bit too much strength on that one. Serving now for the Broncos will be Carter Sinclair, the Calgary native. He'll end up sending it across. Tapped over, topped up by Williams. Sent to Essa, puts it down as he puts the Trojans lead up to 15. Currently the score is 15-11. Going back to serve now, Gustavo Machado. He'll load up and fire, sending it across. A little too far there, though. Giving that point right back to the Broncos. Going back to serve now will be number 9, Reed Grusin. As he's going to end up getting the serve now. He'll send it across. Into the netting, though, as he'll give it back to the Trojans, who go back up by 4. The score is 16-12. Going back to serve will be Logan Williams. Already has an ace in this one. As he's looked strong so far. 5 aces on the season. Was averaging 0.33 aces per set prior to this matchup. Let's see what he can do to potentially put that number up. As he's going to load up and fire. But that one's too long, and the Broncos get it right back. Going back to serve now for the Broncos will be Matthias Franca, the 4th year. He has it now. He's going to load up and fire. Tapping it over the netting. Hit up by Williams. Sent to Tice. What'll they say? They'll say it goes to the Broncos as he won't be able to find the corner as Tice will take out Tice. That'll be Nathan Tice going out of the game for Jackson Tice, to be a bit more specific. Serving now, once again, Matthias Franca. And off the hands of Jackson Tice. With it now, it'll be Matthias sending it across. Hit up for Machado. Got quite a bit of momentum on that one, maybe a little bit too much as he puts it into the netting, crashing into Bonson Essa. The Trojans currently tied up now. 16-16 is the score. Both teams only needing 9 points to walk out of here with a win in the second set. For the Trojans, that could be the difference between tying things up here at Rally Point. And for the Broncos, that would mean walking away with a 2-set lead. As we get quite an active rally. That one goes off the netting, and they'll give it to the Trojans. Taking the lead 17-16. I wasn't sure at first whether it touched someone at the net there. They'll say no. The Trojans get it right back. That'll be Bonson Essa now, the 2nd-year student. He'll send it far. Kept alive. Tapped down. Let's see what they can do with it. Put down. That was Aiden Phillips at the wall, but he'll be met. And the Trojans tie things right back up. It's 17 apiece. Or I might have got that one mixed up, I believe. I think the call on the play was that Phillips put it off the hands of whoever he met at the netting there. Won't end up mattering, though, as that it'll end up getting put into the netting anyway, and the score will be 18-17. Going back to serve now will be Diem Amuan, 1st year from Calgary here. He's had an excellent game serving, already has 3 aces. Let's see if he can make it 4. He will! What a game for Diem Amuan. As we'll just have to see what else he's got in his bag of tricks. from that serving line as he loads up and fires, sending it across, hit up high. He'll end up getting tapped up, tapped over. Sousey's there. Tapped up for Machado, kept alive. That's Amuan. Tice, and it'll go off the hands, and the Trojans have 20. Leading by 3. Going back to serve once again will be DM Amuan. Has 10 aces on the season. And I do not have the stats in front of me to see where he is on that leaderboard in the ACAC, but you gotta imagine that he is starting to creep up that list. As it'll get tapped over, Phillips puts that one hard into the wooden floors here at Rally Point, bringing the Broncos back within 2. Going back to serve now will be number 3, Nicholas Hill. Ended the last set for the Broncos. We'll see what he can do here. Amuan sends it over to Budok, but that one goes a little too far, and it looks like they'll hold on to it. Going back to serve once again will be Nicholas Hill. First year from Calgary. On the season, he has 2 service aces, getting them at an average of 0.2, which would mean about 1 every 5 sets. The Trojans get that one and are 4 away. Going to the line will be Jackson Tice. Already has an ace in this one, which makes 5 on the season. Quite a lot of aces for this Trojan squad, as one of their best skills will you can definitely say that serving is one of their best skills. That one won't find the line though, as this one's close. 21-20, Trojans leading. Going back to serve now will be no other but Aiden Phillips. Has had quite the impact on this one for Olds. He'll send it across and out of bounds. So the Trojans bench celebrates. Going back to serve now will be number 7, Joshua Budok, as he had an ace earlier in this one, which I believe marked his 2nd on the year. He'll send it long. That one finds netting, as that puts Olds right back in it. Going back to serve now for Olds will be number 15, Carter Sinclair, the first year. But he'll end up going off, handing the ball off for the serve to Lee Lappenbush, a player we have not seen yet. He's a 4th-year student from Beaver Lodge, Alberta. Doesn't have an ace on the season so far. He'll send it into the netting. 23-21. The Trojans are 2 away, as Coach O'Gorman has a conversation with Machado before his serve. We'll just have to see what kind of wisdom he might have put down on Gustavo Machado as he goes up for a chance to give the Trojans match points. He'll send it over. Tapped inside. Broncos will set up to return. They'll tap it over. Amuan to Williams. Hits the netting. It is 23-22. This one's close. Too close, as the Trojans trying to hold on to this lead, as they very much do not want to go down 2-0 at home here in Rally Point. He'll load up to fire. Too far, and the Trojans are 1 away from taking this 2nd set, and that'll be a timeout. So the Broncos take one there. At the heart of every community, you'll find people who are passionate about building a better future for us all. RBC is inspired by the student athletes here at SAIT and their continuous efforts to make a difference in the community. We'll just have to see what both Coach Grant O'Gorman for the Trojans and Ryan Marsden for the Broncos do. Both teams very close to taking this set. The Trojans only need 1, but that doesn't mean that the Broncos can't make a comeback here, as they just need 2 to force a bit of a sudden death here in this 2nd. But they have to get those 2 first. The Broncos need back back-to-back points. Let's see what they'll do. The Trojans will be getting the serve, and we've seen how deadly they've been from that line. We'll see who they send there to try and finish the job. Leaving the huddle. And it looks like it will be Logan Williams going back for the serve, as he has the chance to ice this second set and give them a win here in the set and take it. Let's see what he'll do. He already has an ace in this one. Can he repeat when they need him most? Off the netting and out! The Trojans take this second set with an impressive ace from Logan Williams. It is 1-1 here at Rally Point as we have ourselves a game. We will be right back in just a little bit. As we are just 40 seconds away from the third set of this one, we're going to take a quick chance to quickly thank RBC. The ACAC has partnered up with the Royal Bank of Canada in the 8th annual Make Some Noise for Mental Health campaign to promote mental health awareness and reduce the stigma associated with mental health concerns. There are 17 member institutions participating in this campaign, spread among 2 divisions and under 1 conference. We have strength and unity, and we want you to know that you are not alone. Let's make some noise for mental health. Both teams send out their starting lineups. We are now tied at 1 apiece. The Trojans took that second set with a dramatic ending. Logan Williams ended it with an ace. The Trojans have done an excellent job in that department. DM Amuan will start things off for the Trojans, and who else after that impressive performance there? Already has 4 aces. Can he make it 5? Let's find out. No, he cannot, as that one will find the netting. And after starting as hot from that serving line as he did, he had to miss one eventually. As that'll be Sean Vanderzee going back to serve it now. Tice keeps it alive. Amuan to Tice off the hands. They'll keep it alive. Sousey. Williams putting it high. And off the hands there. They have 2. As it looks like the Broncos have come to play in this third set. He'll load up and fire it across. Finds Giles. Amuan. As that was Budok trying to hit it over. Puts it a little too far though, as that'll put the Broncos up 3-0. Going back to serve once again will be number 12, Sean Vanderzee from Lethbridge. That one goes off the netting as it will be given to the Trojans. The score is 3-1 as they will send back Jackson Tice for the serve. Tice readying up, sends it over. That'll be blocked, but put down, and that's an ace to start off this third set for the Trojans. The score is 3-2. Tice will take it once again. He already has multiple aces in this one, putting his total on the season, I believe, up to 7. Once again, multiple players now on the Trojans, above 5 aces on the season. That one goes off the hands of Giles, putting the Broncos up 4-2. Going back to serve now will be Aiden Phillips, the 4th year, the veteran from the Broncos now. Loads up and fires, sending it across. Giles keeps it alive. Amuan to Williams, who puts it down once again. And the Trojans are back within. Coming into the game now for Giles will be Bonson Essa, the second year from Calgary. Going back to serve now, Joshua Budok. As he's gonna send it across, easily getting it over the netting, loading up and putting it down will be Carter Sinclair, who's had an excellent game for the Broncos so far in this one when he's gotten the chance. And he will go back to serve after the nice play. Loads up and fires. Williams keeps it alive. Amuan to Essa, off the hands. They keep it alive once more. Sending it over, sent long, and who else but Matthias Franca to put it down in that far right corner for the Broncos, who are now up 6-3. Sending it across. Tice keeps it alive. Amuan to Machado, who puts it right down at the net. And that puts the Trojans back within 2. He'll go back to serve it himself after the nice kill. As Machado is going to load up and fire, sending it across, but will find the netting. And now the Broncos go back to serve once again. That'll be Reed Grusing, third year. He's gonna load up, hitting the netting though, as both teams struggling on their first serves there. Going back will be Logan Williams in his last serve. He won the second set for the Trojans with an ace. Let's see what he can try and find in his... He'll load up and fires, sending it across. Off the hands, kept alive to Franca, as that will go off the hands of Bonson S, I believe, and put them back up by 3, as it is 8-5 once again. He'll send it over. Giles. Off the hands of Tice. Put back up again. Sent long. Williams to Amuan for Essa. And that will go towards the Broncos on the infraction. The Broncos bench making sure to inform Essa that he can't do that. As they'll send it over. That'll be Tice. Amuan to Essa. As they will load up to fire. Setting it up for Tice. Puts it off the chest of Reed Grusing and out of bounds. Bonson Essa will go back to serve now. The Trojans down by 4. The score is 10-6 in this one. As he'll load up and send it down. Sending it over. That'll go inside. I wasn't quite sure if that stayed in. The officials will say it will. And that is a 5-point lead now for the Broncos, who are starting to run away with this third set here at Rally Point. That'll be Laza going back to serve now, the second year. He'll load up to fire. Tapped over and too far. The Trojans, patience pays off on that one as they get that right back. Going back to serve now will be DM Amuan. Has 10 aces on the season. He'll load up and fire. as it'll be kept in the air by the Broncos. It'll get sent long, hit off the hands of Amuan, as that one goes too far. Is now for the Broncos. That'll be Sean Vanderzee loading up and firing. They'll set up Tice, who puts it. They'll say it was inside, off the hands. As Coach Maridan disagrees with the call. The referee stands by the initial call. Coming in now, that'll be Nathan Tice for the older brother, Jackson Tice, as he'll load up now. So get ready to go. He'll send it over, tapped up, sending it across, and put down off of Jackson Proust. And we are seeing the Broncos run away with this third set. Now up 13-8. Trojans not quite out. We'll have to see what they can do to make a comeback, but first they'll have to stop Aiden Phillips, who's at the serving line. That'll go far. The Trojans get it right back with a chance now to potentially build back on the Broncos lead. Going back to serve now will be Joshua Budok, the third year from Brandon, Manitoba. As he's going to load up and fire, sending it across. Not able to find the back line, as that'll put the Broncos up to 14. Just 11 away from as now Sinclair will load up. Sending it across, put up by Williams. And he will find Williams once again. The Trojans get it off the nice give and go play between Williams and Proust. With it now, that'll be Gustavo Machado. Going back now. He's had a pretty solid game for the Trojans. That goes far. Will they keep it alive? Yes, they will. As that finds the inside of the back right corner on the impressive play to put the Broncos up by 5. They need 10. Let's see what happens in the rest of this third set. The score is 15-10. Loading up now, that'll be Reed Grusing. They'll send it high and send it down. They'll give it to the Trojans, saying that one just a little bit too far out the back. They're back within 4. Going back to serve now will be Logan Williams. Williams sending it down. It'll get popped up. That one would be an incredible play there. As we're going to see Williams have a chat with the referee about whether William Giles, the second-year libero, was able to get to it in time. They will say no, as they will be giving the serve right back to the Broncos. Sending it over. Tice finds. That one is stopped at the fence, as Tice is not quite able to beat a jumping Sean Vanderzee, as the Broncos quickly coming right back in here. And that will be a timeout. Grant O'Gorman will call a timeout. His team down by 6. And we'll just give a quick another thanks to RBC. 1 in 5 students are struggling with mental health issues. RBC, along with the ACAC and the Canadian Mental Health Association of Alberta, want to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health. Help us make a difference together. Let's make some noise for mental health. We'll have to see what Grant O'Gorman can do. Still looking for his first win as head coach of the SAIT Trojans. Did plenty of winning during his playing career. But we'll just have to see if he can potentially bring the Trojans back into this one, down by 6, and start that era here as head coach of the SAIT Trojans. Going back to serve now will be Matthias Franca. Coming out of the game for the Trojans, Jackson Proust. In favor, I believe they brought back in DM Emuan. Loading up now, they'll send it across. Jackson Tice to Essa, who wasn't able to make it over. Tice sends it long. They start to set it up. Sending it long, Williams keeps it alive. DM Emuan to Machado, sending it long. They will send it down off of the hands of Tice, and an incredible kill there by Aiden Phillips to put his team up by 7, as it looks like the SAIT Trojans are starting to fall behind in this third set. Let's see what they can pull out of their bag of tricks to see if maybe, just maybe, they can come back in this set. Sending it across, finds Machado, Emuan, Essa. The Trojans keep it alive. They'll send it over. They start to load things up, sending it to, they'll keep it alive, Emuan to Tice, and out of bounds, and the Trojans are back within 6. Coming in now, that'll be Joshua Budok in favor of William Giles. Fonsanessa to go back and serve. He has 2 service aces on the season, one of which was last weekend here at Rally Point against the Red Deer Kings. Not able to get it over the netting on that one, though, as they are just 1 away from that 20-point mark. And that'll be Strahinja Laza with it now, with the chance to serve. He's going to throw it up and throw it down. That'll be Emuan, finds Tice, who finds the back right corner and brings the Trojans right back in by 6 with an impressive kill, as he's been doing that all game for the Trojans and been a big reason that they've been in on most of these sets. As they load up and fire, sending it across, that's DM Emuan. They'll keep it alive. Touch over, and right in the gap. The Broncos have 20. Sean Vanderzee now, the setter, second year from Lethbridge, Alberta. We'll send it long. That'll be Tice. Emuan to Budok, and that is an impressive play to bring the Trojans back within 6. But they still need a lot more if they want to get back in this one. Jackson Tice to go back to serve now. As he sets up and fires, sending it over the netting. That goes out of bounds, though, as that brings the Broncos only 4 away. Clock is ticking on the Trojans' comeback chances in this set. He'll set up and fire, as the only thing he'll be able to find there will be the netting, as the Trojans once again back within 6. Both teams just trading blows. Coach O'Gorman having a quick chat with Joshua Budok before the serve. Let's see what wisdom he passed on, sending it long. And the Trojans will get it with Essa putting it down at the net. Now down by 5 as they are inching back into this one. A Broncos chant starting here at Rally Point. There's plenty of fans from Olds coming to support their squad. They set it up. Tice is there, but it'll hit the roof as that brings the Broncos 3 away. Going back to serve, that will be Carter Sinclair. As they're going to end up bringing in Lee Lappenbush. Coach Marsden chatting with his players, making sure they know the game plan. Amuan finds Machado, but they put it down at the fence. And it looks like the Broncos are walking away with this third set. Let's see if maybe the Trojans can walk out of it with their heads high and a bit of momentum going into the fourth. They are currently down by 6. As they send it into the netting. That's Machado not quite able to get the touch on it. Broncos only needing 1 now. Going back to serve will be Carter Sinclair. That will be Logan Williams there. With it now, that'll be Machado going back. The score is 24-17. The Trojans on the outside, but obviously trying to leave with a bit of momentum. Let's see if they can put some rallies together as they'll stop it there. That's the MMU-on. The Trojans aren't down yet. As Coach O'Gorman signals for Machado to potentially put a drop shot in here. Let's see what he can do. He'll load up and fire. Tapping it in, sending it, keeping it alive. That's Machado. And they will end up giving that one to the Broncos as they go up 2-1. And that will do it for the third set. We are going to a fourth. Let's see if the Trojans can potentially tie things up or if the Broncos will be walking out of here with a win. We'll be right back in 3 minutes. All right, and we are a minute away from the fourth set here at Rally Point. I'm Simon Chiskovsky, and we'll just take a quick moment to thank RBC. The ACAC has partnered up with the Royal Bank of Canada in the 8th annual Make Some Noise for Mental Health campaign to promote mental health awareness and reduce the stigma associated with mental health concerns. There are 17 member institutions participating in the campaign, spread among 2 divisions and under 1 conference. We have strength and unity, and we want you to know that you are not alone. Let's make some noise for mental health. Both squads lining up now. Let's see what Coach Grant O'Gorman can put together to attempt to build the comeback here at Rally Point. Going back to serve now for the Broncos will be number 14, Zane Brandt. As he'll send it over. Popped up by Giles, popped up again, and who else but Buda to find the center gap, put the Trojans up by 1 in this fourth set. That'll be Jackson Tice going back to serve. He'll tap it up. Setting it up now, that's Carter Sinclair. Off the hands of William Giles. 1-1 will be the score now. Going back to serve now will be Aiden Phillips. As he'll load up and get ready to fire. He'll pop it in the air. Sending it to Williams. They'll keep it alive now. They'll send it up. It'll end up going off of a hand of a Trojan, meaning that it'll be Aiden Phillips once again getting the chance to serve. As he'll load up and fire now. Sending it high, but just a little too high maybe, as he'll put that one into the netting. 2-2 will be the score. As that will be Joshua Budok going back to serve now. Sending that one too long as it ends up out of bounds. Broncos will get it now. Going back to serve will be Carter Sinclair. We'll see what he does with it. Sending it long over the netting. That will be Giles to Williams, keeping it alive. They'll end up giving that one to the Trojans, which ties it up 3-3. Going back to serve now will be Christoph Meyer, and I believe this will be the first time we'll see him on the court for the Trojans this season. The second year. He'll load up and fire, sending it over the netting. As it hits the net, Meyer will get the chance to serve once again. One of the taller players on this Trojans roster, standing at a height of 6'7". And he's going to send that one into the netting. As loading up now will be Nathan Wilchowie, another player we have not seen yet today. The first year from Strathmore, Alberta. Sending it over. Tice keeps it in the air. Amuan. Essa trying to put it down, not quite able to. And that will put the Broncos up 5-4. Once again, that will be Nathan Wilchowie going back to serve. With it now, that will be Logan Williams. Has had quite the performance from that serving stripe. He'll load up and fire. Get hit up high. They'll keep it alive. They'll give it to the Trojans, who take the lead now, 6-5. Williams, once again, will get it now. One of the better servers on this Trojan squad, which is hard to say because they have a lot of hot servers so far in this game. Not able to keep it alive, though. Tying it up at 6 apiece. The Trojans trying to force an overtime 5th set. The Broncos obviously trying to do everything in their power to avoid that. Sending it long, that will be Matthias Franca. The Broncos will win the set. With it now, that'll be Franco once again, now getting the chance to serve. He'll load up now. Tice, sent back to Tice, as that'll go Amuan. Tice, go back to back there, tying things right back up at 7. Bonsanessa to go back and serve now for the Trojans. Sending it long, tapping it up, setting it up, but not able to find anything there, as that will be Laza hitting the netting. With it now, Bonsanessa once again going back for the serve. Currently sitting at 2 aces on the year. He'll get popped up, set up for Phillips, not able to finish the job. Abuon finds Tice, but they'll say it was inside, going off the hand of a Bronco. As that'll be Bonsanessa once again going back to serve. Trojans up by 2 now with the lead. He'll load up and fire. Sending it long, tapped up in the air. Saving it now. Tapped over. Lots of Broncos diving for it. No one home, and the Trojans have double digits to the Broncos 7. Bonsanessa now will take it as the Trojans getting a little bit streaky now. Couple points in a row. See how the Broncos try and respond as they take Aiden Phillips out of the game, one of the key players so far for that squad. Send long will be Essa, but he won't be able to make it over the netting. Going back to serve now will be number 11. That'll be Strahinja Laza as he gets ready to go. Lining it up and firing. Kept alive by Williams. Sent to Tice, as that will be Jackson Tice with the kill. 11-8 is your score. We are in the 4th set. Currently, the Broncos lead 2-1, only needing one more set to walk out of rally points with their 2nd win of the season. The Trojans currently trying to force an overtime set. Let's see what happens. That'll be kept alive. Sent over to Amuan to Tice. That one goes off the netting, and they will give it to the Broncos. Sending it long, that will be Zane Brandt. That's Myers there, but not able to make it over as the tall 6'7" Christoph Myers not quite able to make it over. With it now, that'll be number 12, Sean Vander Zee. Sending it far, just a little too far. The Trojans will take that point, holding on to their 2-point lead. Coming in now will be Gustavo Machado for Logan Williams. And then we'll be seeing the Tice brothers taking each other out, as that will be Nathan Tice coming in for Jackson Tice, and Gustavo Machado once again coming in for Logan Williams. As that'll be Nathan Tice taking it now with the serve, the first here. As they'll end up sending that back. Serving now will be Lee Lappenbush from Beaver Lodge, Alberta. He'll load up and fire. That one's too far. The Trojans take that point. Score is 13-11 for the Trojans. And that one goes down in the Trojan zone, bringing things right back up, 13-12. Trojans leading, but they do not have. Currently, we are seeing the Broncos not falling behind by much. Put back in the air, that'll be Gustavo. Spiking it will be, that was Christoph Meyer with a kill. Impressive there as they'll send him back to serve. As he's come in for the first time that I've seen so far this year and is already making an impact. I don't think it'll be much of a question whether we'll be seeing Christoph Meyer at later points in this year, as he's already made a good impression. That one goes a little too far though. Currently down by 1 is the Broncos. The score is 14-13 in the 4th set. They are currently leading 2-1 in the sets as the Trojans try and tie things up and send us to overtime. Let's see if they can do it. Sending it long, popped up by Tice, sent to Machado. He'll tap it over. Sent over. That'll be Amuan. Amuan. They'll find Machado off the hands. Tice keeps it alive. Amuan puts it down. Coming into the game now will be Logan Williams taking out Gustavo Machado. And then we'll be seeing Jackson Tice taking out the younger brother Nathan Tice. As the Trojans start to bring back out a couple of their starters, keeping out the young Christoph Meyer, the rookie. Williams sends it long, popped up. That will be number 9, Lee Lappenbush, leaping up to put that right into the Trojan zone, but sends it a little bit too long as the Trojans will be getting it now. Logan Williams getting the serve right back. Trojans up by 3. The score is 16-13. They currently need 9 to walk out with the 4th set, sending us to overtime. Let's see what they can do. Williams loads up and fires, sending it long, tapped up off the netting, and Williams has himself an ace. That'll be a timeout. The Trojans forcing the timeout with Williams getting an ace there. And with the timeout, we'll take the opportunity to quickly thank RBC. Did you know RBC offers students $75 when they open an eligible student bank account, and will give another $75 to a charity of their choice. Get a bank account for students with the features you need, starting with no monthly fees, ticket discounts to concerts and sporting events, and Avion reward points. RBC believes that mental health wellness and financial wellness go hand in hand. Join us in making some noise for mental health. We'll have to see what both coaches can load up here. Currently, the score difference only 4. 17 points for the Trojans, 13 for the Broncos. A bit of an update out of Winsport. The Trojans ended up falling to Lakeland 4-2. They'll be playing again tomorrow. Loading up now will be Logan Williams. He had an ace there to force the timeout for the Broncos. Coming out of the game now for the Broncos will be number 8, Lee Lappenbush, in favor of bringing back in Aiden Phillips, the veteran 4th year from Bow Island. Logan Williams will load up now as he gets ready to go, sending it over, popped up in the air. What a play there by Giles to keep it alive. Won't be able to do much. Oh, and they'll say it was a tip as the Trojans keep it alive, and the incredible play by William Giles is rewarded with the point. So Williams gets the chance to go back once again for the serve. He has it now. And he's gonna load up and fire. Sending it over, popped up. Finds Sinclair, tapped over. Myers finds Essa with it now, keeping it alive. It's a nice move by or a bit of a miscommunication there, I should say. Puts the ball right down in the Broncos zone, putting the Trojans up 18-13. Going back to serve now will be Logan Williams. Score is 18-13 now. Williams has held on to the ball with a couple serves in a row, 19-13, sorry. So they just updated the scoreboard. Trojans only need 6 to force overtime, as this has been quite the close one to say the least. Bit of conversation first between the ref and the coach, as that will be a timeout once again, as not wanting an overtime period is Ryan Marsden, the coach of the Olds Broncos. And since we're in timeout, we'll take another chance to quickly thank RBC. The heart of every community, you'll find people who are passionate about building a better future for us all. RBC is inspired by the student athletes here at SAIT and their continuous efforts to make a difference in the community. With about 30 seconds left in the timeout, we'll have to see what both coaches load up, try and get the win for their squads. Grant O'Gorman currently 6 points away from sending the game into overtime and give himself the chance to get his first ever win as head coach of the SAIT Trojans. As for the Broncos, they need to make a comeback here, because obviously not wanting to go to overtime, up by 1 already in sets. We'll have to see what they can do. Currently down by 6. And the Trojans standing firmly in the driver's seat. So they send it back to Williams, who has had quite a couple serves in a row, which allowed the Trojans to step on the gas a little bit and put some distance between them and the Broncos. Let's see if they can keep that up as Williams goes back to serve, as he loads up and fires, sending it in, tapped up, sent over, out of bounds. The Trojans have 20. As Williams will continue to serve. As the Trojans inching closer to forcing overtime. Currently 0-4. Not at the start of the season that you wanted for the Trojans, as Williams gets the ace. But it's looking like they might be trying to turn it around against the very strong Olds team, sitting at a record of 1-2, but have looked promising in those 3 games. Williams continuing to serve. Let's see what he can do with it. Quite a few aces in this one, just had one. Can he get another? No, he can't. That one goes out the back, and the Broncos will be getting the chance to serve once again, as there was quite a few serves in a row there for the Trojans, as it'll end up moving on. Going back now will be Matthias Franca, 6'6" outsider. That'll be Amuan off the hands of Tice. Sinclair finds, that one finds Phillips, and the Broncos are down by 6. They're not gone yet. Going back to serve once again will be Matthias Franca, as he's going to load up and fire. Sending it over, popped up by Williams. Williams finds Amuan, who finds Meyer, sending it long. Popped up. Sinclair finds Phillips, popped up again by Giles. To Myers, who isn't able to clear the netting. And the Broncos are coming back. Let's see how the Trojans respond. They are only down by 5. Grant O'Gorman still has both his timeouts in this set. You have to wonder if they allow another, whether he'll be using that timeout, as they send it over for a free play. Launching it over, keeping it alive as Meyer, setting it, as that one will go to the Broncos. Coach O'Gorman will look back and tell Dominic Sousey, I believe, to get ready. As they load it up, Tice off the hands. The Trojans have 22. We are going to see some subs. Coming out now will be William Giles. Bonson Essa back to serve. The second year, setting it down. Popped up. Sinclair tapped over. Essa's not able to get there. This is close. Maybe too close if you're the Trojans. Only a 4-point gap in between overtime and going home earlier than you might have expected if you're the Trojans. Going back to serve now will be number 11. That is Laza. As he's going to load up and fire, sending it across. Meet by Williams. Amuan finds Williams, tapping it far. Tapped up by Sinclair. That's sent over. And they are only out by 3. It feels like just moments ago they were outside of this one by 9. The Broncos are back as they are looking to potentially pull off highway robbery here at Rally Point. He'll load up and send it across. Tapped over, Tice to Amuan. Back to Tice, off the hands, they'll keep it alive. Over to Sinclair, keeping it alive once more. They'll call it off, and the Broncos have 20. That'll be timeout for Grant O'Gorman as the Broncos have turned this one into a game. If you would have asked me even 10 minutes ago if I thought the Broncos would be within 2, I would have told you a very convincing no. But they are right back in this one. As we have certainly had quite a long and intense matchup between the Broncos and the Trojans, who have matched up very well, to say the least. This one, the Trojans having the chance to potentially get their first win here at Rally Point this year. And the Broncos, obviously, still wanting to stay strong, currently at a record of 1-2. If they could tie things up and even things up at 2-2, that would obviously look rather good on the standings. Let's see what both squads can do. Sending it out now as they get set up in their own zones. Going back to serve now will be Laza once again. His team only down by 2. All they need is 5 to leave Rally Point with a W. As he aims it up and fires. Williams to Amuan. Tice puts it down, and the Trojans are 2 away from putting this one into overtime. And who else would you want serving for you than Diem Amuan for the Trojans, with the chance to ice it with 2 points. As he loads up and fires, sending it across, off the hands, it's still alive. Sent up and hit down by Phillips. The Broncos are not gone yet. We have ourselves a game. The score is 23-21. With it now, that's Sean Vanderzee, as he's gonna load up and fire it. Met by Giles, by Amuan. Tice, he's beat, and the Trojans are only 1 away. All they need is 1 point. With it now will be Jackson Tice, has had an excellent game so far for the Trojans. Let's see if he can keep it up. He'll serve, kept alive. That's Vanderzee, sent to Phillips, who said, "We're not done yet." As they are 2 away from tying things up here at Rally Point. Phillips will decide to go back and take it himself after the kill. And the ball is in the hands of Aiden Phillips, trying to avoid overtime. He'll send it into the netting. And we are going to a 5th set. As the Trojans will not go down, despite how many leads they lose and how many comebacks they have to make. They are not done yet. It is tied 2-2. We will be right back in 3 minutes. And we are a minute and 30 away from the final set here at Rally Point. We'll just quickly take a second to thank the Royal Bank of Canada, who has partnered up with the ACAC in the 8th annual Make Some Noise for Mental Health campaign to promote mental health awareness and reduce the stigma associated with mental health concerns. There are 17 member institutions participating in the campaign, spread among 2 divisions under 1 conference. We have strength and unity, and we want you to know that you are not alone. Let's make some noise for mental health. This one is close. Both squads have come to play, and neither wants to go home with a loss. We'll have to see what both the Trojans and the Broncos will load up. As unsurprisingly, I think we're going to be seeing both teams sending out very similar lineups to what we have seen all night. As Olds will lead the huddle and get ready to go. We'll have to see who will be starting with the serve. And it will be the Trojans. With Diem Amuan going back. He has 4 aces. Let's find out if he can make it 5 and continue his incredible performance here at Rally Point. The fans are getting loud. Let's start this 5th set. And it goes off the hand, and he has 5. What a performance. And the Trojans take the lead. In the 5th set, they only need 15 points instead of 25. And these little points, he has 6. What is happening? As Amuan continues to take down the Broncos single-handedly, as he has 2 back-to-back aces. Sending it again. That time the Broncos receive it. Off the hands of Phillips, Amuan keeps it alive. That'll be Tice to Myers, tapped over. They'll send it high. Sending it over, kept alive by Williams. Amuan with it now, sending it to Tice, putting it down. And the Trojans go up by 3. Giving the ball right back to number 16, Diem Amuan. 6 aces. Will he make it a lucky number 7? As the Trojans try and win this overtime period. Let's see what he's got. Sending it over and out of bounds. What a performance. Diem Amuan. I do not have words for the performance he is putting on right now. The Trojans lead by 4, and you have to give a lot of that credit to Diem Amuan. Taking the chance to quickly thank RBC once again. 1 in 5 students are struggling with mental health issues. RBC, along with the ACAC and the Canadian Mental Health Association of Alberta, want to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health. Help us make a difference. Together, Let's make some noise for mental health. We are 15 seconds away from getting things right started, right back up. And you have to wonder what it would be like just to be a fly on the wall in that huddle with Coach Marsden. And what are they going to do? As they currently have the hot hand in Diem Yuan serving right at them. And so far, they do not have the answer to the puzzle that is his serve. As he is going to load up. He has 7. He'll fire. Kept alive. Sent over and put down. The Trojans have it. They have 5. What a start. As Diem Yuan goes back once again. This building is just getting more electric as this overtime period gets started. The bench trying to psych out Yuan. He sends it off the netting. It's kept alive. With it now. Keeping it alive. Yuan with it. Sending it to Tice. Kept it alive. Sending it long as Myers. Back in the air. That's Phillips. Yuan keeps it. And they will give it to the Broncos, who finally put an end to the reign of Yuan from the serving line. With it now for the Broncos serving is Sean Vanderzee, the second-year setter. He'll send it long. Popped up by Tice. Put down by Budok. And the Trojans did not take long to get that point right back. And Jackson Tice has the ball in his hand, up by 5. The Trojans are trying to walk away with the comeback victory here at Rally Point. Let's see what he has. He sends it over. Popped up. Vanderzee. Put down by Phillips. It's kept alive. Gillis. Back to Myers. Sent back to Myers by Phillips. Sent long to Williams. Put back up. Narrowly avoiding the roof. Phillips. Kept up by Tice. That's Giles. Williams kept alive. Yuan to Williams. Vanderzee. Phillips puts it far and long, and the Trojans have 7. Back once again is Jackson Tice as they continue to put the ball in the hands of their hot servers, as nobody can stop the serving of the SAIT Trojans. Tice sending it over, popped up again, off the wall, and that one goes to the Broncos. It is 7-2. The Broncos are not done yet. They might be down, but they are certainly not out. Aiden Phillips back to serve now. Has had an excellent game himself. As he's going to load up and fire, sending it over. Kept alive by Tice. Phillips will gain it back himself. That's Sinclair. Put down by number 6, Matthew Franca. And the game is within 4 for the Broncos. Going back to serve once again will be Aiden Phillips. As the Broncos try and build on this lead, or break down the lead, sorry. Will be put into the netting, and the Trojans will serve once again, and we'll have to see who they end up sending back for it, as they are going to do a quick switch. Switching sides halfway through this set. We'll have to see what the Broncos can load up. Despite gaining some momentum back, still down by 5. And that is no easy feat to come back on. Going back to serve for the Trojans will be Joshua Budok. Had an ace earlier in this game, which made his 2nd on the season. Not necessarily a Trojan known for his serving. Let's see what he's got. Hits the netting, sends it over. That'll be Van der Zee. Goes off the netting, and the Trojans get it. It is 9-3. As we will see Budak go back to serve once again. And after a bit of thinking, we are going to see head coach Ryan Marsden choose to take a timeout as he tries to put the pieces back together and potentially get a comeback here for Olds, as they are very much on the outside, down but not out. Let's see what they've got. The Trojans just need 6 more to walk out of here with their first win of the season at Rally Pointe and get head coach Grant O'Gorman his first win of the season and his first win as head coach of the SAIT Trojans. As we are now 20 seconds away from the continuation of this one. Probably the most action-packed game we've had here at Rally Pointe yet. So we saw the women's squad walk out of here with a win against the Olds Broncos women's volleyball team. Now the Trojans, like I said, only 6 points away from matching them and having the Trojans leave Rally Pointe tonight undefeated. Let's see what they can do. Joshua Budak with the ball in his hands with the chance to put the Trojans into double digits here in overtime. As he's going to load up and get ready to fire, the Broncos bench letting him know what they think of him. That one goes out of bounds and the Broncos have him. With it now, that is Carter Sinclair. He'll load up and fire, sending it over. Matched by Tice, sent right over though. Sent too far. The Trojans have 10. Coming into the game will be Nathan Tice, taking out Christoph Meyer, who in his first game as a Trojan this season has looked quite good. Nathan Tice coming in for the serve now. He'll load up and fire, sending it over, matched, sending it far. As Jackson Tice nearly with the bicycle kick to keep it alive, but not quite. Going back to serve now will be Reed Grusing, the third year from Bragg Creek. As he loads up, now only down by 5. As they remain still in it. Sending it into the netting. The Trojans up by 6. They just need 4. Williams with it now. As Williams gets ready. Sending it. That one finds the netting. As the Broncos get it back. Putting it in the hand of Matthias Franca. Let's see what he's got in his bag of tricks to potentially make this game just a little closer for the Broncos. Popped up again. Tice, put up in the air, sent across, kept up by Nathan Tice to the older Tice, over to Emuan. Sent down, and Tice can't keep it alive, and they are back within 4. The atmosphere at Rally Pointe is electric, as this one has been close just about all night. Matthias Franco loads up and fires, popped up. That one they'll give to the Broncos. They're just outside by 3. Let's see if they can potentially break back into this one, as they're going to send Logan Williams to have a quick chat with the lead official, just to get a better understanding of the call, as Grant O'Gorman chats with the side official there. As O'Gorman gets relayed the information by Williams. O'Gorman gives the official a thumbs up, seemingly understanding the call. Sending it to Tice, and off the hand. They have 12. They are 3 away. Coming in now, Joshua Budok for William Giles. Bonson Essa. The Trojans up by 4. Here we go. He'll send it over. Popped up. They'll start with it now. That is Phillips off the hand. They have 10. The score is 12-9. Going back to serve will be Laza for Olds. He loads up and fires. Sending it across, matched by Williams. Amuan popped up to Tice. Off the hands. They'll keep it alive. Amuan off the fencing, and the Trojans get it. They are 2 points away. And they're putting it in the hands of the man with 7 aces. DM Amuan, the first year. He has the chance. He has the power. Let's see if he can put him away. Out of bounds. As getting sent back to serve for Olds College will be Sean Vanderzee. He'll load up and fire. Matched by Tice, by Amuan. That's Christoph Meyer, back to Tice, off the fencing. They have 14. Grant O'Gorman is 1 point away from his first victory as a Trojans head coach. The ball is in the hands of Jackson Tice. Let's see if he can end it. It all ends here. Popped up. Vanderzee popped up again. Tice keeps it alive, but not for long. As the Broncos might be down, but they are not out. As Aiden Phillips has it now. And if you're Broncos head coach, Ryan Marsden, there is no one you'd rather have with the ball in his hand right now. He'll send it over and out of bounds. The Trojans have won at Rally Point. Grant O'Gorman has his first win as head coach of the SAIT Trojans as the celebration gets started and underway. The Trojans get the monkey off their back. And that has got to feel good to get their first win of the season here at home. As we've got players of the game coming up now. A lot of options. For the Trojans, you have to go DMMU on. We'll see who they end up giving it to Olds. And they will give it to Carter Sinclair. Very understandable pick there, as he had an excellent game all night for the Broncos. Who else? Who else would have got it? 7 aces. That's all I gotta say. What a performance. And that will do it. Here at Rally Point, both Trojan squads leave Rally Point here, undefeated on the night. I've been Simon Chaskovsky. Thanks for joining me this evening. And make sure to tune in next weekend for more ACAC action. Have a good night.